Well, we've certainly got our work cut out for us today. There's just so much to do. Last episode, we had a minor crisis while planning the layout for this log flume, and as a result, we did get the track in, but this place now looks a bit like a disaster zone. It's also looking very 2012 Minecraft with all that spruce wood everywhere, but there is a whole lot to do around here. So much, in fact, that I'm going to tell you now I will not be touching the mountain today. I've got a very cool plan for that, and it's going to need an episode all of its own. So that means today we're going to be focusing on the outside here, and this is going to be really difficult. Before we dive in, though, as always, I do want to say a huge thank you to CyberPower UK for sponsoring this episode. If you need a shiny new PC, please do check out the link in the description. I've also just been reading all the comments on the last episode, and I have to say the Wizard Tower idea seems very, very popular, so I think we'll definitely be adding that into this zone somewhere, probably over there in the distance behind me. But once again, that's not something we'll be doing today. That'll just be a future project for us. Now, due to recording time constraints and the sheer amount of work we need to do around here, I think it might be time for a challenge episode. So I'm going to give myself 12 hours to transform this exterior as much as I can. That means new buildings, custom trees, paths. Yes, I just said custom trees. Oh god. Seating, lighting, and a whole lot of wood. I mean, it is a lumberyard after all. And looking at this area, I think it makes sense to maybe get down some of the larger features first, the things that are going to be hiding the tree farms, for example. And then we'll just try and work things out from there, I guess. And in fact, as we're standing right here, I think the first large feature I do want to put in is a building to wrap around this tree farm here. And I've got to try and be careful because I don't want to add too many buildings to this area. Here's a lumberyard, but at the same time, I do have a whole bunch of tree farms I need to hide. To be honest, this one here, I might remove completely and do something else with this area. But this one here is going to remain where it is. I just need to hide it, and I need to hide it well. And because at the moment we've got loads of this track sort of going around, it's all just floating, I think putting a building there and another one here is going to nicely enclose this section of the track here and give this bit something to attach to, maybe the side of this building, and then it's going to go out over that area, and yeah, we'll figure out what to do with that bit later. You'd think I'd start at the beginning, but no, we're going to start over here with some buildings, and it's going to have to be a reasonably tall building, judging by how big that jungle tree just went. Oh dear. So let's grab myself some blocks and just start marking something out, see how we get on. And I guess we're going to want to have this in line with this bit here, so we can turn the side of this building into part of the side of the log flume there. I guess we're going to have to make some of this part of the building as well. We're also going to need space to offload things, so yeah, I think we're going to need to come out to like here maybe. Means we're probably going to want to replace all of this wooden bit down here with some brickwork. So to cover this farm, really, it's going to need to be about that size. It's going to end up bigger than our station. So I don't really know what I'm going to be doing with this build in order to make it look nice. So I think what we're probably going to do is I'm just going to sit here and build for the first hour, and I'll see you in a minute. We'll see how we get on. You might even get a musical block placing time lapse if you're lucky. A little over 2 hours and one musical montage later, I think we have a building that I'm okay with. I think it's okay at the moment, but I think once we get everything in around it, it's really going to help set this in place. It's a lot bigger than I would have liked, but at the end of the day, it does have a tree farm inside, so we need to make sure that's still doing its thing, and it's got plenty of space to grow. But we are getting some leaves stuck to logs in here, but that's fine. This is all on the inside. No one's ever going to see this, apart from the fact I just showed you. But I've stuck with the same color scheme that we used on this build here, and I've even put a fence in this wall on this side so that as the flume ride comes down here, you can actually see the tree farm working on the inside. Now that feels a lot more immersive than it did before, just having it out in the wild. And with that in mind, need to figure out what we're going to do about this. And I think I actually want to work on the area between there and here now, try and work out what I'm going to do in terms of paths. This has stopped. Why has this stopped? Why is there a hole in the floor? I have a feeling these things might be related. But we'll sort that out later anyway. Something I do actually want to do is add a lot more logs that go around this thing. It's just one log at the moment, which is, well, it's a bit feeble, isn't it? But yeah, I think working between here and there and getting all this bit here looking nice is definitely going to make me feel better about that building. And we need to work out what we're going to do about all of this 2012 Minecraft goodness we've got going on here with the spruce. I mean, I do want it to be spruce, but I don't really like how it looks at the moment. So yeah, we're definitely going to fiddle around with that a bit, put some supports on it and so on. And while I think of it, something else in the comments that people said, there was a couple of comments actually that refer to this lift. One is that it should be belts, and I 100% completely agree, but the problem is the train actually runs on track, not on belts. So I can't actually put belts there. If I was to use phantom rails and put a belt over the top, it ends up so high up, it just doesn't really work or look good or, yeah, fit very well at all. So we're not going to be doing that, I'm afraid. However, when I was questioning why phantom rails can go around sharper corners, it's because they work a bit like narrow gauge tracks, to the point where we can actually connect them together. So what I can do is I can replace this with a narrow track, and that should look a whole lot better up here as well. So first things first, what we're going to do is actually remove this farm. We're going to need to relocate that somewhere else, because I really don't want to have another giant building right here. So let's quickly chop this down. Right, there we go. Farm's gone. Now to work out what I want to do with this thing. Let's maybe start with some structural supports and go from there. So a short while later, I've got the supports in, and I think I'm a lot happier with how this is looking now. I've just shortened the top a little bit, added some fences instead. I've swapped out the spruce for a different kind of spruce. In fact, a few different types that I think do work quite well together. Some of them are connected, some of them aren't. I've tried to make it look a little bit sort of bodged together, basically. And at the moment, I'm trying to decide if I want to leave it open like this on the sides, or if I want to keep it closed off like that. And I'm thinking closed off probably does look a little bit better, doesn't it? But either way, it certainly looks better than this side, which is what we had before. So, yep, good stuff. Let's just get the rest of this bit finished, and then we can start on the landscaping out the front here. And a few minutes later, that's this side sorted as well. It's definitely looking a whole lot better, but it's still standing out like a sore thumb. We need to actually sort out the terrain around here. But while I was doing that, I did also take the time to do this big one here coming off the side of the mountain. And I know I said I wasn't going to do anything with the mountain today, and that does stand true, but I do want to do some stuff down here, and that does kind of relate to the mountain, because we're going to be having a waterfall come down off the mountain through this little sort of divot here, and that means we need a great big pool at the bottom here, and then connect that up to the river over here, so this all kind of makes a bit more sense. And I think that's going to be my next task, is essentially just to dig out a nice big area over here, and get the rest of the river in that's going to connect all of this up, as well as maybe swap out these grass blocks for some coarse dirt, because that is going to be the majority of the area around here, I guess. If we just bring this around here, something like this, curve off the edges, that's going to be the bottom of the waterfall there, and then we want the river to go this way, and then we just need to fill up all of these holes and make it a nice river that can contain the water, because currently it's going to make a right mess. We will of course tidy this up and make it look nice, but I think shape-wise that should work perfectly. Now what I need to do is get all the ground around here sorted out. I want to show where the actual paths are going to go. I've got a rough marker here at the moment, and you can see where it's going to go into the mountain, but I might also loop that round this way here as well. I don't really know yet, but I also need to work out what blocks I'm going to use for the path and how I'm going to make all of this look like a forestry type place. So I guess it's time to tear up some grass, and I'll see you in just a moment. Well, I've got as far as replacing the grass with coarse dirt to work from as a better base, and I've started marking out where the path's going to go here with some mud blocks, but I've run out of mud blocks. I've none left whatsoever, which means we need to go on a mini adventure to go get some more mud and some wheat. And there we go, I've got plenty of mud, let's crack on. Although I should probably fix my shovel before that becomes a problem. Progress, we have a path, and what I've done is I've put it going through this way here, so you can actually walk down this side, and of course you'll be able to walk round this way and into the mountain. And this of course is where the people will exit the ride. They'll also be able to head down this way here. I might potentially put a bridge over the end there to connect the path on along this side, because the idea is this path here is going to loop back round and head back into the main part of the theme park. I think before we go any further though, I need to get some detail in here, so maybe some wagons with wood on, some other piles of wood, some benches and lighting and things like that all along this side, and maybe a little bit more wood over here. But on this side here, I think I want to have maybe some chopped down trees, as if this is an area that has been worked fairly recently. I do want to have this bit be a little bit more open, so as the visitors are walking along this path, they can of course see the mountain, they can see the ride, and they'll be able to see the river and the lakey type bit over here as well. And it means I can avoid making custom trees just yet. Now I'm going to start down here with some wood piles, because, well, we've got this one being picked up by a claw grabby crane type thing, so I think it makes sense to maybe add some additional wood here that it's sort of grabbing from. And what we're gonna do is, with this log here on top, I think I'm actually gonna spin this round. So if that's gonna work, I should probably stick it together first. And let's just glue that. We'll glue it to this log here as well. We'll grab ourselves a mechanical bearing. And do I have any valves? I have one. That'll do. Just going to stick that on there. And if we crouch click, it will face it away from us. Want to set this to only place when anchor is destroyed. And then let's maybe set this to 11 degrees. A little bit more, maybe something like that. And as that's our only valve handle, we're going to take that with us. That's probably going to come in handy elsewhere. And if we just get all of this blocked up, yeah, that works quite nicely. And I'm also going to add some smaller bits of wood down the bottom here. And I think if we click that again and again, yep, there we go. Look, we can get some smaller logs going. Now, maybe we should put some kind of cart here. Wagon, something like that. Let's see what we can do. We're going to go fairly old school with this. We're just going to use these as the wheels. Use some spruce slabs here for the main part of the wagon. We'll use a couple of fence gates at the front here. Chuck some logs on top. Then we're going to use some copycat layers here just to sort of adjust the lengths on some of these logs just to make it look a little bit cooler. And then what we're going to do is get some of these railed ladders. Use these on the side here. Add some normal rails on top. And then that should all look fairly sort of tied onto the little wagon there. I don't think it needs more than that. It just needs to be a very basic wooden wagon. Then if we just add a few more log piles around here and there, that should do the trick nicely. Well, it's certainly looking a lot more woody. I think I'm just going to spend a bit of time working on this area here, try and get things looking a little bit nicer. Maybe get some benches and lights in as well. But we're well into hour 5 now of our 12-hour challenge, so I really need to crack on. I'll see you in just a moment. Faced with the mammoth task ahead of me, I started by adding a couple of simple benches made from extinguished fireplaces and trapdoors, then added some street lamps using tuff and spruce, as well as a few of those sconces, because they just look quite cool in this area. The addition of a couple of piles of wood and bushes helped fill out the corner, alongside a couple of straw statues to mimic animatronic features. That one's just having a bit of bread. Around the other side, I added some birch, another wagon, and a couple more straw statues hauling some logs, opposite which I used oak to create a small work area and log piles by the river. I then tried to add a couple of custom trees with mixed results. I then filled the lake and parts of the river, and I'm just about to add a waterfall, but I thought I'd bring you back in for that bit. It's actually looking pretty good from up here. And that also does show me the scale of what we've still got left to do, and we're almost halfway through our time. But anyway, let's see how the waterfall goes. So let's jump into free cam, see how it flows. Okay, good. I was about to say it's a little bit narrow, but that little pop out there helps. It's very straight on this side. That seems to have helped that. Okay, cool. Well, I think that looks awesome. When we work on the mountain in the next episode, we will, of course, make that look a whole lot better. It's just a grey wall at the moment. But for now, I think what I want to do is sort out this riverbank and the riverbed and so on. We're going to use some mud blocks and mud variants, as well as some other bits and bobs, and just try and make this look a little bit better. I think we can maybe do with a few rocks around as well, maybe. But if we can get this riverbank here looking nice, then I'll be happy to actually move on to the next area, which is going to be the bit over there, I guess. Probably the next building. I do really need to put another building in there. I still need to figure out where I'm going to put that tree farm I removed as well. But that's a problem for future, Beardy. For now, let's make the river look nice. Yep, I am liking that. The river's looking a whole lot better now, at least up to this point. I haven't done any further as yet. And you may notice I also removed the dark oak farm over there, which means I've removed 3 out of the 4 farms we built a couple of episodes ago. Don't worry, we'll find a new home for them around here somewhere. I think I've got some ideas on what I can do with them. But as this is a lumber yard, I figured it would make sense to have an area that has actually been a little bit deforested, and I will be putting some custom trees behind there. Probably some pine trees, I'd imagine, to match up with what we've got at the front here. And I was saying I didn't know what to do with this area here, but to be honest, I think this just makes a perfect splash zone. So we'll probably leave that pretty much as it is. But it's definitely feeling a whole lot more immersive as you walk down here now, especially with the river looking good as well. But now I think it's time to move on from this side. We are running out of time. Well, we're well over halfway through at least. And I've still got a whole other building I need to put here. And I think that's what I'm going to do next. However, when I was building that last building, I was being very, very frustrated by the fact that I was moving so slow while crouching. I think it's about time we went and got ourselves some swift sneak. Means we're probably going to need to go find ourselves an ancient city somewhere. This could be interesting. Let's just dump all of this in my bag and get ready for an adventure. By which I mean grab some torches. I think that's all I need. And I'll see if I can dig out my nature's compass as well. That might make this a little bit easier to try and at least locate the deep dark, which might then lead us to where we want to go. an ancient city. Surprised we haven't actually been to one yet this season. There's a lot of basic things we haven't done because we've been too busy building a theme park. Right, torches, compass, and we'll take some wool as well, just in case we do want to be sneaky. But we do have wings, so to be honest with you, I don't think we're going to get in too much trouble here. Hopefully we will just be able to duck in and out nice and quickly. Let's see where the nearest deep dark is. 1,500 blocks in that sort of direction. Everything's always in that direction. Look, every time this direction. It's probably under this mountain over here then, isn't it? Well, it appears our deep dark is underneath this mountain here, so we're just going to find a nice low point in the bowl here and do what we should never do in Minecraft and dig straight down. I'm sure it'll be fine. Aha! Well, there's some deep dark. Question is, can we find ourselves a city? Well, there's no city yet, but there's a whole lot of screechers. I'm going to turn the brightness up a tad so you can actually see what's going on down here. I don't want to do it too much because it's supposed to be all spooky and scary, but I do want you to be able to see what's going on. Hopefully that'll be a little bit better on YouTube compression. Right, now the question is, do we go down that dark tunnel, which looks like a potential dead end, or do we go this way? Ow! Ow! Leave me alone! Trying to make a very important decision here. I think we're going to head off in that direction there. We're going to try not to set off these shriekers. So, yep, this could be a whole lot of sneaking. That spawner over there as well. Okay, we'll avoid that. Well, it goes nice and deep here. Let's go straight down. Oh, I'll set off a shrieker. Just one, though. That's fine, right? Right. Seem to be leaving the deep dark, though, going in this direction. Ooh, diamonds. Ah, creeper. Oh, I just set off a second one. This is concerning. Very concerning. I'd actually quite like to grab a few of these things while I'm here, so let's see if we can just put lots of wool around this thing. Should just be able to grab that now. Yes, excellent. Grab a few of these while we're here. Any more screechers? It doesn't look like it. From what I can tell, though, there's no ancient city around here, which means, I guess, we have to go find another mountain. Search continues. How do I get out of here? I've made it back to the top after that unsuccessful dive into that mountain, and now I think we're just going to go find some other mountains and hopefully we'll actually find an ancient city at some point. Does this count as a mountain, or is this more of a hill? First things first. Okay, there is actually a deep dark here, 64 blocks below me apparently. Let's try this one out then. Doesn't look much like a proper cave entrance here. We might have to make our own one again. Down we go. Oh, lush cave. Oh, Jesus, loads of stuff. Look at all that. Just casually fly away, see what we can find. Oh, my days, look at that. Ah! Lots of bad things, but look at this cave. This is amazing. And it just gets better. Look at that. Wow. I don't even care if there's an ancient city down here. Look at this. Woo! Oh, and there is an ancient city as well. Wow. This cave would look awesome with some really dramatic music. Right, enough of that. I need to stop procrastinating and go raid that city. Let's see what we can do. Don't panic, don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. Question is, do we stay sneaky or do we go smash and grab? Smash and grab's a lot more scary, though. How about we start off sneaky and then see what happens? Oh, there might be a smash and grab. I think I can hear a bad man. I think I brought a bad man out. Definitely heard him. That might have been him leaving, though. Swift sneak one is a start. Oh, and another swift sneak one. I'll take it. Oh, that's a bad man. I don't know what direction I flew away. Oh, is that him over there? Yeah, there he is. Look at him. Big spooky boy. I think I'll just stay over this side for now. Struggling to find many chests, if I'm honest. I know we got these ones. I think the main problem is I've not been very methodical at all about this. Aha, there's a chest. Oh, bad man's coming. Run away! Oh, he was over there. I just saw him. I think I flew straight back to where he was. I saw you, buddy. Question is, did he see me? Well, there's one up there as well. That's a different one, though, right? Or is that the same one? Oh, look, there's one there. And there's one up there. I'm making way too much noise. Oh, there's another chest. Sharpness 3. Still not what we want. Let's sneak one again. Frostwalker. Well, I've done a lot of running away, and I've searched pretty much every box in this place, at least all the ones I can find, and we have got lots of books, but not exactly what we're after. We've managed to get 3 Swift Sneak 1s, which maybe might be enough. I mean, that will give us Swift Sneak 2. It's definitely going to be better than what we had before. So with that, I'm happy enough to try and find my way back out of here, which I have absolutely no idea what direction that was in. And there's probably quite a lot of those big boys running around at the moment. Oh, that's not going to help. How do I get out of here? Is it this way? Yes, here's the wonderful cave. Now to remember how I made my way into this cave. Oh, we're almost there. I can see terracotta again. Oh, look at that. We're free. We're free. I mean, there were some wonderful lush caves down there, but I'm happy to be out. Where am I? This isn't where I went in, is it? At least we got some Swift Sneak, and that means that we can build this building a little bit faster, hopefully. I'm really hoping that was worth the time investment. We're on a very strict schedule here today. Let's just get these combined together, and I think we put these on our trousers, right? Yep, perfect. And now we're going to be ever so slightly... Oh, actually, that feels quite a lot faster compared to what I've been putting up with. Wonderful stuff. Now, let's get back to work. We've got another whole building to get down. Running out of time, but the good news is we've got a new building up, and I think it fits quite well. We've got this lovely water wheel on the side here because of course we are going to have a river flowing through this bit, which we'll tackle shortly. That's going to spin around, and I've purposely designed this with enough space inside that we should be able to fit in our dark oak farm. At least that's the hope. That'll still leave me a problem with where to put the other ones, but I don't really know yet. Is that a bear in there? Get out of there. Not for bears. In fact, that's for logs. There's another missing block as well. Why are my blocks going missing? If I had a detective outfit, I'd put it on right now, but I think I have a theory. Enderman. The theory is Enderman. I reckon it's Enderman stealing my blocks. I do normally have Enderman griefing turned off, so yeah, I think I might go sort that out quickly. That's going to get very annoying otherwise. Right, well, the Enderman are no longer going to cause me any bother. Let's just quickly plug this hole we've got here. Probably not with that. Let's just use some coarse dirt. But I just went to Vanilla Tweaks and grabbed the anti-Enderman griefing data pack and applied that to the world save. So hopefully we should be okay now. There's an Enderman over there with a block. Are you kidding me? But it was you, wasn't it? Oh, he walks really weirdly. Look at that. Anyway, distractions aside, we need to add more logs to this train. And for that, I'm gonna need space, lots of space, and some narrow gauge rail. We've only got normal track at the moment, because what I need to do is build a nice long straight bit of track so that I can add a number of bogies to it. I think the most we can have on any particular train is like 20 or something crazy. But yeah, before we do any of that, we do need some narrow gauge rail, and I don't know what we've got over here. I think we might already have some, potentially, maybe. Don't know whether it'll be enough or not, but do we still have it here? We have exactly a stack, but I think we're gonna need a little bit more than that. So, what do I need to do? I need to change this. So I need to get rid of that deployer, to get rid of the belts. Then I need a belt on that side, another one on that side, and a saw. I think that's correct. Then if I feed spruce slabs into there, is that going to... Nope. No, it's not. It's just filling up my barrel with loads of stuff I don't need. I can never remember these recipes. Oh, wait a minute. That is correct. Oh, no, that's ingots. I need nuggets. Right, let's swap that out and try that again. There we go. Now we're getting rail. Okay, that should be plenty. I think what I'm going to do is put down a nice long straight track at the top here. Sure, that should be plenty long enough. And then we're going to put a station in. And now we need to grab our log train. So let's bring it over this way as close as we can to our new area. And then hopefully we can just use the wrench to get it from there up to where we need. Let's put that there, and then we'll grab him and stick him up here. Wonderful. Now all we need to do is disassemble the train and then add lots more logs. So first up, we'll just chuck down a whole load of bogies. There we go, loads of bogies. But I don't want to have logs on every single one of these because, well, that's just going to look way too cluttered. But I do need to make sure that I attach something to every single bogie, because if I don't, when I actually go to make the train, look, it says no structure attached to bogie 2. So if I now glue this glass pane to that bogie, Now it says there's no structure attached to bogey 3, which is, of course, the next one along. So, first up, let's just get some glass on every single one of these, and then we'll decide which ones to put logs on and what logs we're going to use. We've got a glued glass pane on every single one of these bogies now, so hopefully I'll be able to actually form the train. Yep, there we go. Our log train now has 15 carriages or so. Now let's choose where to add some logs. So, let's put one on the 4th bogey back, I think, to begin with. And I think we'll go with a nice mangrove log here. And I don't want all the logs to be exactly the same length, so we're going to make this one a little bit longer with a slab. And basically, I've just got to go down this train and add a few more logs. Got all of our logs sorted, so hopefully this should all work nicely. Let's grab the train, and hopefully that should fit on there just nicely. But what we do need is a new driver, because our last one, I think, probably maybe drowned after the Enderman kind of ruined their day. But instead of snatching away some of the local wildlife, I think we're going to make ourselves a conductor this time, like a good Create player, although I can't remember how to do it. So it looks like a bit of wool, precision mechanism, and some string. I think we can probably just about do that. And then if we put down an andesite casing with a cap on top, look at that. We've got one of these cute little dudes, and he should hopefully, look at that, jump in the train. And I'm hoping he's going to be less susceptible to dying. So let's go check this little log train now, and hopefully that's going to look a lot better with all these different logs going around. Yeah, that's looking much better. Look at that. Could make a Frogger game out of this. They are kind of in one long big batch, and then we get nothing for a little while, but it's definitely better than just having one going around. And if we look at that, look, we've got one down here, we've got some at the top. Yeah, look at this. Much better. That makes me happier than you can possibly know. Right, well, I've only got a few hours left, and I've still got a whole lot of work to do around here, so I think the best thing for me to do is just crack on and get it done. We're going to sort out the river down here, and I'm going to sort out the sort of log flumy bit that we've got going around this way. And we're even going to get some custom spruce trees down. But I might be a little bit cheaty and grab the ones that I built for last season, because I really do hate making trees. And they'll probably work quite nicely. There's a few varieties, so yeah, maybe we'll use those. I don't know. We'll see how they look. Oh yeah, I need to sort out these farms as well. Jeez, so much to do. I'll best put on some really fast music. That's it. That's all I can do. I can't do any more, partly because my brain is melting, but also because I'm actually out of time. I'm supposed to be leaving the house in about 45 minutes for the weekend, and if I don't get this video done before then, well, you're not going to have a video on Sunday, and that's going to be bad for everyone. I've still got to edit this last bit into the video yet, so I best get recording. Although I did notice something while I was editing, and that is I didn't actually explain why I put so many bogies on the train, even though I've only got 6 logs here. And the short version is that if you put the bogies too far away from each other, then the weird sort of chain thing that connects them together when they go around tight corners or up slopes and things like that, it kind of breaks the train and it stops going round. So I've had to put lots and lots of bogies in just to keep the whole thing moving. But anyway, let's have a look at what we've done here. I've still got some sort of blank areas where I do need to put something, but yeah, we'll cover that in another episode. But this area here now will connect round. This path is actually going to connect around the front of the building, which also isn't done. Really kind of sad about that. I was hoping to get the front area finished today, but that's going to have to wait, I'm afraid. I do also have this lovely area here. We've got lots of trees up, so a couple of these trees are actually ones that I did use last season. These sort of small ones here and the medium-sized ones. The big new ones here, they were actually designed in Creative a short while ago, but yeah, I don't know. You see why I don't like trees? I mean, they're okay. They'll do. They look like trees, I guess. I think the trick here with these trees is to have lots of them, and then you don't notice how bad they actually are. But anyway, besides that, I've also sorted out the log flume that goes all the way around the top here. I've sorted out the front of this building. I haven't actually got the farms back in there yet, but I have made sure that the customers, or the visitors, the guests, I should say, can't actually get into the buildings because I don't want them to go in them. They're just going to be messy tree farms. That's not for guests. That's for me. But I did also do round here. So this path does actually continue on. I've done the river, which annoyingly, I actually forgot to hit record on the other PC when I did this back area here. But I think that once again works quite well. Just don't question the fact the river doesn't really have a source. apart from the log flume itself. So yeah, just don't question it, it's fine. But this path continues all the way round. We've got a nice little bridge that goes over the river, because of course the log flume ride will go through this river here and then down into the cave, which I have just blocked off for now, because once again, we will be saving all of this for next episode. This path then continues down through a few more trees and then round the back to connect up to what we did earlier. And once again, I have actually done some trees around the back there as well. I did, of course, use the schematic cannon to get these in because, well, I hate building trees, especially this many trees. But that's once again starting to pull that area together, but it does still need finishing off. I want to get rid of the birch that's behind there and get more spruce in. And of course, we've still got the rest of that river to do as well. But I think we've done quite a lot today. I'm definitely very pleased with how this has all come together. Got buildings to put our tree farms in, and I think for the tree farm that we removed from down here, I think what we might actually do is just kind of, oh, this is overflowing. What we might do is just double up down here. We've actually got 3 rows here where we could potentially just plant additional saplings. It does mean we're gonna have to change the machine slightly, but they should all still fit in here. Look at all these leaves. Ridiculous. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So we'll probably switch this up next episode. Might be quite nice to harvest some leaves from here as well, actually. And I should probably turn it off as it's overflowing as well. There we go. Which does remind me, we also need to sort out the sort of item collection, how we're going to get that over to this section here. To be honest, I'm probably just going to go underground. I don't really want conveyor belts all over this area. I don't think that's going to look very good. But then once everything is inside this building here, it will, of course, just be able to get pumped out and put into storage over here somewhere. So yeah, still lots and lots to do here, but I'm very pleased with how it's looking. It's definitely starting to actually come together a little bit. My crisis about this ride is now over, I believe. I think I'm set on what I'm doing for the rest of it. But all that's left to say is thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now. Oh, I'm knackered.